Hello everyone, welcome to the new texturing video for your texturing and lighting assignment. Simple launch Maya. And first thing I always do, I always do it, set your project. So file, set project, and it's on my computer, it's on my E drive, Sheridan College. Hold on, looking for Sheridan College. Sheridan College here. 3D previs and set project. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're back here. So now I'm going to pick up where I left off from yesterday. So I'm going to go File, Open, and back out of here. And I'm going to go Student Work, and I'm going to go Date Modify. And I think it was this I was working on. Open that up. No, this is not the one I was working on. Open up this. Evan. Is it Evans? No, hold on. Date modify. Hmm. Texturing. Let's open this up. Okay, no, that's not the one I was working on. Okay. Oh. Okay, maybe I guess I could work on this. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yes, so this one is Alejandra Gomez. Alejandra already have her camera in here. So I'm gonna go to two plane split over here. 1 second. Two plane split. Hold on, right here. Then I'm gonna go to panel, perspective, shot cam, and this is Alejandro's shot cam. This is the perspective that we're working in. So we want to lock your camera because we don't want to like make any mistake and the camera is secured. Yeah. If you didn't have a camera, you have to go to create cameras. Then you have to name your camera and then set up your lighting. If you didn't do that, you're gonna have to do that. But she has her lights in here. Her you know, they're in here. This is her lights. They're turned off right now because they're gray, but you could simply select them and whatnot. We're at the part where we're gonna send this thing to Substance Painter. Make sure you have Substance Painter on your computer. If not, you'd have to use shaders and shade the scene. Okay, just like I showed you in class. If you don't have Substance Painter, you're gonna have to choose that route. If you have Substance Painter, you're gonna use this route that I'm gonna show you. Okay, for each asset able to um get texture on them, you're gonna have to make sure UVs are on them. If there's no UVs on them, then it's gonna be a problem. Like when I mean UV, you have to have a UV unwrap. I've done several videos showing you example as how to UV unwrap your assets. Okay. If not, if you don't do, if you for this assignment is wrap up this Saturday, so if you don't do that, you might as well just create Arnold surface shade, Arnold standard shaders, and just give them a color and just do that to get your mark. Okay. But this method is going to allow us, the UV method, is going to allow us to put like maybe like a logo on the cup, uh, shader on this guy here, and so forth. All right, cool. So now that we realize that we have UVs on here, now that it's a time to get ready to start setting up. The first thing I like to do is go to my hypershade right here, and I have And if your hyper shade is like this, has like a lot of stuff in there, you can click on this button here to clean up in here. And let's see how much items I have in the scene. The background, first of all, this is the background here. We're gonna, we have a, okay, hold on a second. So the background here, I'm gonna select the background and I'm gonna put it on a layer and let's call this BG underscore layer. Okay, save. So the background is on its own layer. See me? You get up, get what I'm saying? Okay. Click this V here and it turns it on off. Okay, great. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna hit tab on the keyboard, type in AI standard surface, this one here. See this one? Click on it. It's gonna create a shader here. All right, before I name it, why go to that menu again when I could minimize here? So I have the background one, I have the props. I'm gonna put the props on the one shader. So in this case, I'm gonna put all these props. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, no, no. Okay. I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put, this is the character. This is like a little character here. So I'm gonna have one shader for this, one shader for that, one shader for that. So three shaders in total. Okay. All right. So we agree. We're gonna have three shaders in total. So one, two, three shaders in total. Okay. Cool. The background already is gonna have a shader for itself. So in total, we're gonna have four shaders. So let's go in here and simply just select this and press Control D. One, two, three, four. So now we can just simply move them apart. So we create four shaders. Now that we create four shaders, we're gonna have to go ahead and name them. So this one I'm gonna call this cup underscore MAT. This is the cup. You could give it a color for now. Just give it a random color. Uh, this one I'm gonna call it BG MAT for matte. I could call it BG matte. Yeah. Background color. The background color, I want you to select the background, and you can make it a little bit darker. Just drag the slider for the color here. Background, I don't want you to have any kind of weird looking background, so gray, deep gray is good. For the specular roughness, I want you to drag this slider to your right. Okay, so we have the cup, we have the background, then we're gonna have the, let's see, oh, I have like more than one shader. I have like quite a few shaders in here. So I have the cup and the background here. Did I name them? You notice I named them and everything? Okay, so we have the AI standard for the other one. So let's look at the, I'm gonna say character, CAR for car, character. Head matte, MAT. Okay, you could give it a color. I'm gonna give it like a, this is a temporary color we're giving it, by the way. This is just temporary color because we're gonna be shading them inside of stuff up here. And then this one is gonna be character, CAR underscore main underscore matte. This one, I'm just gonna give it like a like a blue color. So we have this. I don't think we need this one. So in total, we have four. We have four shaders that we created in here. Okay, we have four shaders that we created in here. Okay, now we can minimize this. So the cup, for example, select the cup. First of all, I'm going to select everything and I'm going to press 1 on the keyboard. Okay, after I select 1, I'm going to go to mesh display, and I'm going to go soft edge like that. Then I'm going to go edit, delete by type history. Okay. Now I need to select the cup, right click on it and hold it, go all the way to the bottom where it says assign existing material, and I want to choose cup material. See that? As soon as I select the cup material, guess what you see happen in the viewport? You see, um, you see a shader in the viewport updated. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select the background. I'm going to hold on, not but right click and hold, assign existing material, and I'm going to select background matte. There you go. So that has the shader on there. I'm going to hide the background for a little bit. I'm going to select everything that belongs to this here. I'm going to right click on it, hold on, shift, not shift, but right click and hold. And then this one is called character head matte. And there you go. So you see in the camera, it has that shader on there. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, it has that shader on there. See that? Cool. Now the character, the main this character thing there. Select everything. Make sure you select everything that belongs to this character. Right click and hold. Hold on, ascend existing material, and this one will be called character main. So this is the shader assigned for the main characters. Now I'm gonna keep the background off. Okay, so now I'm gonna do one last check with our UVs. So before I send it over to Painter, so I'm gonna select this UV. So you see why we have to do one last check, because guess what? Right click here. These guys weren't unwrapped for some reason. I don't know why. And oh, okay, cool. I think I have an idea what's going on here. Okay, so this I'm gonna have to move this. Make sure there's no overlap in here. Okay. I'm gonna right click, go to edge, select one of these edges. This needs to be unwrapped, I think. I'm gonna select here, right click, cut, and right click UV shell, select that, unfold that piece. Okay, get that piece unfold, and this piece is the same. Right click, edge, select an edge. So these are just last minute changes. So I realized I didn't unwrap those, so I just have to fix it. So shell and unfold. There we go. Scale this stuff, press R, scale that down. Okay, so now you notice I put this piece over here. Well, I'm gonna take it again, scale it, and find a place for it on here. Just gonna scale it way down and put it there. Make sure no overlapping. We don't want to see no overlapping, guys. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back here, right click, go to object mode, select all the guy, all of him, and go to edit, delete by type history. Okay, good. So this guy here, everything is within the border. Make sure nothing is going over the lines. Make sure nothing is going over these borders. So you see this green and red, everything must be within it, because if it's not, Substance Painter is gonna refuse it. All right, cool. Here is the cup here. UVs look good on there. Here is the head. The head. This looks kind of good. Looks kind of good. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. We have to make sure we select that and put that. I don't know what's going on there, but let's. Oh, this is this thing here. Maybe cut it and cut that. All right, click. Make sure those pieces are like that. And I think I have one more here actually. So make sure those pieces are not like that. Make sure those pieces are unfold. So click, cut, click, cut, shift right click, select that, unfold it. So those pieces, I'm gonna select these pieces here and I'm gonna kind of scale them up a little bit. because I have plenty of space on here for the head. So that looks good. I'm gonna right click, select everything, go edit, delete by type, history. Okay, so we have all three ready to get sent over. All three of these have shaders on them, their own unique shaders on them. Okay, so you see I changed the color of them so that I know that this has a shader, that has a shader, that has a shader. Okay, great. Now we're ready for Substance Painter. I want you to turn off the background. Make sure the background is turned off. Okay, make sure the background is turned off. We're not bringing that background in Substance Painter. Okay, so we're gonna select everything that belongs to the one that we're using. I don't know what are these. I don't know what are these. I don't know what's these. Okay, maybe delete that thing there. Okay. Anyway, select that. How about select that? Delete. So curve. Select everything here. Just make sure you select everything, please. Okay, cool. And you're gonna go to File, to Export Selection. Okay, and in your scene file, in your scene file, in your previous scene file, I want to create a new folder by clicking this icon here, and just call it Objects. Okay, within this folder, I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna call this to uh scene objects. Okay, in terms of file types, you want to click on file type here. You want to scroll down where it said FBX export. Select FBX export, then export selection. Make sure you know where this location is here. Make sure you know where you're saving it. And after, I'm going to copy it because I'm going to need it, and export selection. So now those are exported. Okay, great, great. We're doing good. We're doing good. All right, cool. All right, we're good. Now we're ready to go over to Substance Painter. Launch Substance Painter. So I have it here. I ask you guys to download Substance Painter. If you don't have access to Substance Painter, you're just gonna have to like do it manually. Okay, so I'm launching Substance Painter. Oh, whoa, I have Substance Painter 12. I didn't know. Okay. All right. So anyways, this is Substance Painter. If you download Substance Painter for the first time, you might have to sign in. It might give you a sign in page. Once you get that page, you sign in with your school information. Where do you get Substance Painter? If you have access to Sheridan College Adobe Creative Cloud, that's where you get Substance Painter. You're gonna like search for it, Adobe Substance, as you can see, and you're gonna download it and install it on your computer and open it up. Okay, so I'm gonna go to File, New Project, and I'm gonna open up these like so. Advanced settings. Uh, at the project template, the first one at the top where it says project template, you wanna choose PBR default. You wanna choose the one at the top. So you scroll this here. Make sure you go all the way to the top. Select that one. Document size 2K 2048 by 2048 is good, so you leave that. 3D mesh, you want to click on here. And remember that file path I was telling you about. So I'm going to paste that file path that I copied. You have to, otherwise you have to search for it by going to my computer and find your drive and navigate to it. This is, I copied the link, so that's where I know where I save my file. Okay, so click here, FBX scene of objects, press open. All right, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna use UV tile workflow. Click on this here, UV tile workflow, And if import camera is checked on, and if auto UV is checked on, you want to make sure you keep them off. So if they're like this, you want to make sure they're like that. Both of these guys. Press create. So here we are. Here is our object inside of Substance Painter. Congratulations. So in terms of Substance Painter, I'm just gonna show you a couple of things, right? On your right hand side, you could click and drag down this. Over here, you're gonna see you have your head material that we name it, character main, then you have the cup. Okay, good, good guys, pretty cool. All right, cool. All right. By clicking on these eyedrop here, you can turn it on and off. Okay. In terms of navigating in Substance Painter, if you know how to navigate in Maya, it's the exact same thing in Substance Painter. If you know how to navigate in Maya, it's the exact same thing as Substance Painter. Now, after you get your scene in here, see this little bread icon at the top? You must do this. So I'm going to click on here. Then you're going to bring it to here. You're going to change the output size to 4K. And we're going to check on use low res as high res. And you're going to click on bake textures. That's the very first thing you do in Substance Painter. Okay, after it goes through its baking process, this blue bar is filled out. You just click on return to paint. And before we start, oh wow. Couple of things is going on here, guys. Couple of things is going on here. First of all, let's save our scene for a little bit. Gonna go file, and I'm gonna go save. And where do you want to save this? Well, I'm gonna save this in the same location that I have the OBJ file. So previz, scene, objects. I'm gonna call this scene objects, not FBX for this one. This is Substance Painter file. And I'm gonna hit save. Okay, so a couple of things you could do. You could click on here, click on here. Okay, let it save. Let it say it's saving. Just gotta wait until it's saved. Click here, and you could go into 2D mode and see what's going on here. This is the character's head, but what about the main character? This is the main character. I don't know what's going on with the main character thing there, but let's see what we get. Let's go clicking on here. I'm gonna click back in here and go 3D only. Okay, so we have all these things in the scene, right? You wanna click on, I wanna click on the cup. So make sure you highlight the cup. You notice this is the layer part. This is where we're gonna put the shaders. Okay, great. Now you can click on the cash bin beside here, the trash bin. And you could choose to click on here to isolate and just only see the cup for now. Now, where do you get your shaders? Right? Where do you get your shaders? If you click on over here, like the material, if you click on here, you have material, you could type in. I think this cup is a plastic, so you just type in plastic. And just look here. I'm not gonna go through all of these. So I'm gonna click on this one instead and choose like a plastic, like the blue plastic. All you do, select the shader, drag it, drop it inside here. And as you can see, it has the plastic shader in here. Now, what I'm going off of is this here. No, not that. Okay, give me a second. What I'm going off of is this here. This. I'm not going to do the Star Wars and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to show you how to shade these pieces here. Okay, just give me a second. Cool. All right, so the cup, if you open up this plastic, you see this group here, double click on it, you notice that it have a plastic. You can turn off dust. We don't need dust. We don't need the dirt. So you click the eyedropper beside it and turn it off. We need roughness, so we're gonna turn that off. And we need this. There's this plastic here. We're gonna turn off the plastic off of it. By clicking on the shader, you know this is very shiny, very reflective. We don't want that. Okay, so select the shader here and just simply go into the scroll down with your middle mouse button. Scroll down where you see roughness. You remember roughness from our file? This is the exact same roughness. So if you drag it all the way to, say, towards like your right, the slider here, this one, um, yeah, like so. This way it's like very glossy. That way is soft. Okay, we want to yeah, so in terms of color, how do you change the color? In the properties. So right here. So you could change it to whatever you click on here, you can change it to whatever color you wish to have. I'm gonna change it to like maybe like a blue. So that's the base color. Okay. All right. I'm gonna turn on everything else back again, just by clicking on this. All right, but I'm still on my cup layer. So what if you want to create some kind of logo on here? Well, that's easy. You're gonna create a, you see this paint bucket? Click on it, and you can call this logo. Immediately name it logo. All right, you're gonna right click on it and create a black mask. Don't be shy, it went away. You're gonna go over here. You're gonna select your brush tool here, and then you're gonna click on one of these. Click, click. So we're just gonna. These are all shape that you could use, but watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick. You can click on the slider here. Click on the slider. I'm gonna pick. Hold on a second. Give me a second. This like a heart shape here. I need the heart shape, so I'm gonna double click on it. Double click on the heart shape with your left mouse button. Double click on it. So if you use your square bracket key, you notice it's getting bigger. Then I could just simply take this and put it on there, like so. Um, so I'm in the mask right now. I'm gonna show you. I'm in the mask right now. You see the blue ring around it? That means I'm in the mask. I'm gonna click on the shader and I'm gonna change this to like a red. Or you could change it to that, whatever you want. So once you've done that, you just select that and click that off. All right, so I think my cup is done. Okay. This folder, you could call this cup shader and percenter. Go ahead and save your scene. Okay, so that's how you add shaders. So also, if you go to the smart material right here, if you just type in wood, for example, these are all the wood material that you can find. So if your asset is made of wood, you just simply drag it and drop it over there. We'll have more exploration in upcoming videos, but for now, this we're working on these guys here. I'm going to click on character main here. Make sure you highlight the character main and make sure this is up. Okay. All right. I'm going to click on the character main and I'm going to click here. All right, cool. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to smart material here and I'm going to type in plastic. It's a plastic here, so it's plastic again. I'm going to take it, drag it, drop it in here again. So this is how it looks. Remember, that's how it looks. Then we're gonna have to open, I'm just gonna call this character main. That's what we did. Open up the folder again, turn off dust, turn off roughness. Make sure you turn off the thing that's on here. Click on the shader Make sure you go to roughness and drag the roughness towards your right, towards white. After you do that, after you do that, so this is the base color. This character have not like they have like a greenish kind of thing. So let's get that. So simply scroll up with your middle mouse button, change this to green, and like maybe like light green, like so, yeah. Then how do you create other colors in here? I'm gonna right click on here, right here, and I'm gonna call this dark underscore green. And I'm gonna right click on it and I'm gonna create a black mask. Now I need to go over here, reference side, make sure you select polyfill, make sure you select um, the checker pattern right here, make sure you're in the mask right here, and that's all you have to do is left click on here. You see as you left click on it, it turns white. It turns white, which is good. I'm going to click back on my brush tool, and then all I have to do is click on the shader and just click on the color and click on the green and make it a little bit darker. Cool? Cool? Are we following? Great. Next move we're going to do. We're going to create another shader. So click on this little bucket tool and we're going to call this eyes. Eyes. We're going to make sure change the color for them. They're like black, so change the color black. Then we're going to right click on the eyes and create a black mask. Then we're going to go over to the polyfill tool here. Click on make sure checker pattern is selected. And you simply just zoom in and select the parts that you want to be black. And there you go. Make sure you go back to your brush tool here. And this is what we got. Okay, cool. It's kind of, let's press C on the keyboard. Press M. Okay, so that's what we got there. Very good, right? Very good. Cool. Following so far? All right, so I'm going to take this folder here because it's the same as the face. The face is the same as that. So all I need to do you want to redo it? We don't have to redo it. We're going to select this and press Control C. We're going to go to characters head and we're going to press Control V and paste it in here. I'm going to just say character, rename it to head. Open this up and we're going to turn off. We're going to right click here and create another black mask. Right click on here. Make sure you select the polyfill tool here. And then you just simply select the parts that you want to be black. So, let's see. I don't know why that piece not letting me select. This piece is not letting me select it for it to be black. So I'm gonna avoid that piece. Okay. So here we are. At this stage, we're done texturing. We could turn on. At this stage, we're done texturing for this particular scene. Okay. This scene is predominantly made up of plastic, guys. And we're pretty much done with it. So what I like to do is save my scene. Okay, save my scene. Cool. And the next thing I have to do, remember we have 3 materials in here, guys. 3 material. 1, 2, 3. So guys, so the next thing, how do you export your textures? So you're gonna go File, Export Textures. And if this is the first time you're exporting your texture, you're gonna go to Output Template, and you're gonna choose. So if this is the first time, you're gonna choose AI Standard Surface right at the top, right here. Just left click on it, right click on it, and you're gonna duplicate it. It's gonna bring it all the way to the bottom. I'm going to double click on the word copy, and I'm simply just going to say AI standard surface, and I'm going to say, call it SER for Sheridan, and press enter. Open this up a little bit more. Wherever you see $mesh, you want to just put TEX there. So TEX, I'm going to copy it here, TEX, here, TEX. Make sure, don't get rid of the underscore, that's the $mesh. Replace it with TEX. Okay, cool. So that's done. So make sure, look at it, take a closer look at it. You see where I put? I just replaced $mesh with, and you have to drag this open for it to see everything, by the way. You have to drag this open to see everything. Okay, go back to settings. All right, and I want you to output template. Where do you want to save this file? Well, I want to save this. Where do you want to save the textures? Okay, where do you want to save it? Well, I want to save this here. I'm going to click here. I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call this, because I'm going to create other examples, so I'm going to call this blue, right click. I'm going to call this Alejandra underscore maps in my source images folder. So I call it Alejandra maps. So this is where Alejandra's file would be. Okay, cool, clear? I'm going to double click in this folder, and I'm going to copy the name. Then output template, where do you want to save it? So we created that folder for you. You're going to click on here, and I'm going to paste this in here. We're going to select folder. Output template, we just created it. So click on here, scroll all the way, make sure you look. This one is going to end up at the bottom. So it's the AI standard Sheridan. So click on it. All right. File type, we want to choose PNG. File size, we want to choose 2K. And then you just simply click export selection and save. Okay, great. So our textures are exported. So if you look into this Alejandra maps folder, if I click on here, this is all our textures that's being spit out. Now it spit out a color texture, it spit out a height, it spit out a metallic, and it spit out a normal map. So 4 texture per part. It's split out for this particular scene, and everything has its name. So you see TX character head. So that's self-explanatory. So I'm gonna go. Let's copy this, and let's minimize. Let's save this scene here, and let's go back to Maya. So now I'm gonna click on. Okay, one second. Let me space these out. Yeah, I'm gonna space these out a little bit. You remember these shaders we create? So first thing I'm gonna bring in. So space these out kind of like so, guys. First thing I want to bring in is the character's head. So I'm gonna just take this, move this down here, and how to move around in this is just basically the middle mouse button Alt, and just move around. You could even use your middle mouse button scroll, and just scroll in and out. All right, it's just like 2D. It's in 2D view. So this is the head. So select the head shape, the character head material. Where it says color, see this checker pattern beside here? Click on the checker pattern. This is gonna come up. Click on file. Then you're gonna hit this folder over here where it said image name. And then you're simply gonna navigate to where source images is. If you set your project, you don't have to go all the way. So here's Alejandra maps here. And the one I want is head base color. So you see that? I'm gonna click on, see it said character head, and you see the texture over here. Color normal map. So select the head base color. So that's the one I want. Great. Next thing I want my object is not made of metal, so I don't need to plug in the metal maps here. Scroll down where it says specular roughness here, and I'm gonna choose, click on the checker pattern beside specular roughness, bring this up again, go to file, and click on the folder here, and then go to Alejandra map, and then I want the character's head, specular roughness here, right here. Make sure you select the character's head special roughness. Make sure it has the name, and this is it for the character's head. So specular roughness for it. Press open. One thing about this black and white map, it's a gray map as you can see. You want to change the color space to click here and change to utility raw and click as alpha as luminance. You only do this for the specular roughness black and white map. You don't do it for the color, the base color. Okay, just want to let you know. So select this. This is good. Click on the shader here. Middle mouse button, scroll down. Where it said geometry, you want to open that up. Click on the checker pattern beside here and go to file and click on bump. We're going to use bump. So click here, go to folder and click on Alejandra map. And we're going to use the height. No, not the, we're going to use the head. So look for the head height map. Okay, give me a second. So head, make sure you look for the character's head height map. So head height map. So this is it. So select the head height map. See, 1001 height map. Click on open. Change the color space to utility raw. Make sure um illuminance is checked on right there. And that's it for this character. This is it for the head. Cool. So you just can just take this and move this to the side. So everything is done with this. Now we're gonna go off to the cup material. So I'm gonna select the cup material, scroll up to where it says color, and click on the checker pattern. Bring up the file node, click on file, navigate to the folder Alejandra's maps, and I'm gonna look for cup. So cup base color. So this is the base color for the cup. You see a thumbnail over here. That's the texture for the cup because we created in Substance Painter. All right, good. So all right, specular roughness. Click on the shader again. I'm gonna move this a little bit away from the other guys. All right, I'm gonna move this down here because we're working on it down here. Okay, cool. Move this over like so. Here. All right, specular roughness right here. Click here. Click on the file. And Alejandra's map. And I'm gonna use for cup metal, cup specular roughness. See, cup, and then open. Make sure you change the cup utility to raw and alpha is luminance. Select the cup shader again, right here. Scroll all the way down to say geometry. Click on the bump mapping. Click on the checker pattern beside bump mapping. Bring this up. Click on file. Click on the arrow beside here. Navigate to where here. Alejandra's map, and we're gonna look for cup height. So cup height right here. Make sure you change this to utility raw. Alpha is luminance is checked on. Okay, great. So save your Maya file, Control S, because we just did a lot of work. Next thing you want to do, click on the character main, scroll up, click on where it says color, click on a checker pattern beside color, bring in Plex file, click on the folder, Alejandra's map, Alejandra map, and we're gonna go for character main color. So here, this one, press open, like that. And then click on the shader again. We don't have metallic surface here, so we don't need to plug in the metalness map. If you had metallic surface, you would have to plug in the metalness map here. Okay, which is a black and white map. So hopefully we're gonna have like another example where how to bring in metal objects. But this is just for plastic. Okay. But if you had metallic objects, I'm gonna plug this in and show you. So you're gonna click on here, check a pattern, file, go here, Alejandra map, and for you're gonna look for the one that has metal on there. So this is the character main metal mess. So it's either black or white. So you select the metalness map, click open. You want to also change the color space to utility raw and change alpha's luminance. So that's if your object have metal. I just show you how to plug that in. This particular file doesn't have any metalness piece here. So, okay. Select the shader again, like just highlighting it like so. You see this is selected. Specular roughness, gonna click on the checker pattern beside here. Click file, open. Then we're gonna go Alendra's file, and then we're gonna choose roughness for the main character, which is this, and change the color space to utility raw and alpha is luminance. I don't think I'm gonna plug in the bump map for this piece here because this object doesn't have any kind of bump. It's not doesn't have any kind of bump, so we're gonna work with that. So congratulations, all your textures have been plugged in this asset. So let's minimize the UV editor. And if you press 6 on the keyboard, press 6 over here, you can see there's your shaders on in here. Now you need to turn on your background and you need to select actually turn off your background, select everything and press number 3 on your keyboard. All right, turn on your background. Then you're gonna go over here, select this and select that one here, the light, and press H to unhide them. You go file, save. Then I want you to go to save receipt for example. And then I want you to go to Arnold, render. And here is your scene. Just like that. Okay, here is the scene. It's done. Simple as that. I'm gonna pause it just by clicking the red arrow. And I'm going to go Windows, display settings over here. And there we go. I'm gonna move this. I'm trying to move this thing here. I'm gonna go Windows, turn off that. So as you can see, but this guy somehow his leg is kind of like a little way there. I don't know why. Maybe it's, I don't know, the way it's modeled. But at this point now, Alejandra, your scene is done. So all you have to do is go to File, Save Image, and you could call this in terms of like I'm gonna put my name, so I'm gonna put Wayne Carnegie rendering lighting assignment. Put dot png and then you save. Now where is that saved? Well, it's saved under images, and here is the scene. Okay, this is what you would upload to Slate, and congratulations, your scene is done. Okay, all right, so look out for me to create another couple of videos, probably um probably later on this week. Keep an eye out. Okay, so that's it, and take care. Take care. Take care.